Well, today is Purple Day, an international grassroots movement where people are encouraged to wear purple to support those with epilepsy and increase awareness.
Friend of the Morning Show, Meera Estrada is one of the estimated 50 million worldwide living with epilepsy. And Meera joins us now. Meera, welcome back to the Morning Show.
Thank you.
So for people who are not completely aware, explain epilepsy.
Yeah, so epilepsy is actually the world's most common neurological disorder, and it's characterized by recurrent seizures. And it does not discriminate people of any age, gender, ethnicity, and you can also get it any time in your life as well. I started having epilepsy in my late 20s, and 1 in 100 Canadians is diagnosed with epilepsy daily. And we actually think that number is underreported because there is still so much stigma around epilepsy.
Can you tell us a bit more, maybe share a bit more of your own personal journey when it comes to epilepsy?
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, in my late 20s, I was on a cruise vacation with the then boyfriend, now husband. And I remember we were docked, thankfully. And last thing I remember, he was making fun of me because I was going to wear heels on a scooter. I wake up, I'm in a hospital bed. I've learned I've had my first tonic-clonic, which is when you fall down on the ground convulsing and stiffening. And then the next year was a very difficult journey because you're learning which medication is right for you. The medications are strong. These are brain medications with a lot of side effects. I lost my speech at one point because the medication was too high. And then we got it under control. I got to a point where I was having seizures about 1 to 2 years. I've had over 25 tonic-clonics. I went a year seizure-free. COVID was a lot of seizures. And then I went a year seizure-free. And then, unfortunately, just 3 weeks ago, I had another one. And I actually saw both of you that evening.
Oh, so that night.
Yeah.
Later on then.
In the morning, I had the seizure. I cried all day. I slept all day. And then I said, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to go and do this. I only stayed for an hour, but I always force myself to keep going because it is hard. There's a lot of guilt. I feel a lot of guilt because it's a family disorder. My husband worries a lot about me. My kids, unfortunately, have seen seizures now. I think one of the hardest things was when my son was 10, he's 11 now, I overheard him saying to my husband, he said, "Do you know, Daddy, I practice running up and down the stairs because I want to make sure I could save Mommy if I have to." And it's a lot.
Yeah,
It is.
What are some of the biggest, Meera, myths and misconceptions when it comes to epilepsy?
Yeah, so one of the old wives' tales is that put a spoon in a person's mouth that's having a seizure. Do not put anything in a person's mouth when they're having a seizure. Try to make space for them. If you can, make their head protected, move objects away. If the seizure goes on for more than a few minutes, then you call 911, but don't put anything. I've severely bitten my tongue so many times. The strength, if you put something in our mouth, either we will break our teeth or bite off your finger. So that's a big one. Another one is kids really fear, I speak at school sometimes, that it's contagious. It is not like catching a cold. You cannot catch a seizure in that way. It's not a contagious thing. People also think that our mental ability is diminished. Far from the truth. We are capable of doing anything and everything. Some of the greats, Da Vinci, Tchaikovsky, Prince, one of my favorites, Harriet Tubman, all of them had epilepsy and did amazing, amazing things.
As we mentioned off the top of the show, today is Purple Shirt Day. Or Purple Day. It doesn't have to be a shirt. It could be socks, could be a tie. But what are other ways? How does the community what kind of support does the community need? Yeah,
so 100%. So first of all, yes, wear your purple. I was lucky enough, a Canadian designer made me these beautiful purple earrings. But share support on social media. I think first and foremost, learn about epilepsy. Learn about, we're just like everybody else, but it's an invisible illness that you might not know about. Learn your first aid, seizure first aid. And I think not just with epilepsy, with everything. If you can be a kinder, more compassionate person, like that day, you guys didn't know what had happened earlier in the day. We never know what is happening with somebody. So just see the person. We always say this. I'm an ambassador for Epilepsy Toronto. See the person. There's so much more to a person than what we see on the surface.
And because your son, because your family is living through this with you, he will be that person.
Yes, and I find that he is such an empathetic person, so kind to children, and that is the one thing I feel so proud of and grateful for. You have to find those nuggets of gratitude.
For sure. And, listen, such an important conversation. And for more information on Purple Day and epilepsy, you can visit purpleday.org. Meera, always a pleasure to see you, and thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.